As a public defender, Judge Karen fought for her client's rights. She was elected to the bench because she believes in doing the right thing.
I'm very passionate about helping people, period. Y'all two grown people need to get your own house.
Right.
You had 7 years to have told him that. When we fight, who's gonna win?
You are.
I don't answer questions, I ask them.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand.
Objective, independent justice.
I'm ready to rule. If you keep walking, you can overcome whatever circumstances you're facing.
This is Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Tracy Baker is suing Dave Chen in the amount of $1,322. Ms. Baker claims her neighbor's son scared her dog when he chased a ball into her yard and says she was bitten in the chaos, and Mr. Chen needs to cover her medical bill.
All right, Miss Baker, you're suing David Chen for negligence?
Medical negligence, yes.
Negligence resulting in medical costs and,
Yes,
and
that's
personal
correct.
injury.
That's
Okay, and what's your relationship with the plaintiff?
Your Honor, she is my neighbor.
She's your neighbor. Are y'all next door neighbors?
Yes.
In
that's correct.
homes and houses?
Yes, houses.
Okay, so what happened?
His son, basically for the last forever, his son kept jumping over into my yard. So I've done everything I can.
How old is your son?
Your Honor, my son is 11 years old.
Okay, so, and how many years have you lived next to him?
2 years. And
2
for
years.
2 years, his son kept jumping.
What do you mean he jumps in your yard?
He plays ball, and I know it's not all his fault,
Right.
but I've told the father so many times. I even have a text here that I sent him almost 6 months ago
Okay, saying
please
what?
keep him out of the yard.
What is he doing? He's following a ball into your yard?
He's falling apart. So here's the problem: is I foster dogs,
Okay.
and I can't. And when he just jumps in the yard, it just freaks.
Okay, do you have a picture? Because I need a visual of what we're talking
Okay,
about.
here's a picture of our yard.
Okay.
And you could tell I've done everything possible. I put planters so that it's really
Right,
difficult to
right,
jump in the yard.
right.
I've done everything to deter him from jumping into the yard.
Okay, is this your yard with all the flowers?
That's correct.
And this is your yard with the trampoline?
Yes, Your Honor, that's
Okay.
correct.
So why is your son going into her yard?
He likes to play baseball when he brings friends over, and they're known to play ball outside of the backyard.
Right.
And occasionally the ball goes into her yard.
Right. How often does the ball come into your yard?
If I see a ball in the backyard, I'll always throw it over.
Right. But I'm talking, is this an everyday thing? Is this
No,
a
it's
once
not
a
an
month
everyday thing. That's why, I just texted him several times through the last few months.
Right. And you
It's
have
only-
sent how many? You've sent how many texts to him saying?
I've sent 3 texts, and I
Okay.
have a copy of one of them.
Okay.
So it probably happens more than I know.
Right.
But when I'm home, I would say at least once a month.
Okay.
I could be in my backyard, and all of a sudden he's jumping over and grabbing his ball.
To get his ball. Okay, so why do you let him play baseball where his ball keeps ending up in your neighbor's yard? Because you really don't even have a right to go in their yard to chase the ball. How come you haven't stopped this activity?
Well, I've spoken to my son numerous times, and I've mentioned him it's not right to go into her yard, and he still chooses to go and do that.
You could say, son, you can't play baseball in the yard. How about that? Being a father and an authoritarian and the one in charge and who pays the bills. You're not going to play baseball anymore in the backyard. Why can't you just say that?
Well, I have brought it to his attention, and he's
Brought
still...
it to his attention. Who's in charge here? It looks like he is. And you can't even answer that question. So what happened this time that brings us into court for $1,322?
So what happened this time is I brought home one of my foster dogs. I volunteer at the Humane Society, and I bring them home to see how they do in the home environment. And so I had one back there, and his name was Max, and I did have him on the leash.
Okay.
And I was training him, seeing how he can sit, how he adapts.
Right.
All of a sudden, Jeremy just jumps over the fence
While you're with Max.
while I'm with Max.
What kind of dog is Max? Well, you could
I
tell.
would love to show the picture.
Let me see what Oh, he's too cute. Let me see
Isn't he?
Max.
He's
I used
really,
to have
really
a Max.
cute.
He was a beagle.
Yeah. So
Everybody's had a dog named Max.
So, he's a really, really sweet
yeah.
dog. But all of a sudden, when
Yeah.
Jeremy jumps over, not only do I get scared,
Right, but
which of
it's-
course makes,
The dog's scared.
yeah,
Okay.
so then Max just starts charging. And even though he's on the leash, I wasn't ready for it. So he
Right.
charged with the leash.
Following the ball?
No, going at Jeremy, because Jeremy just jumped over the
okay,
thing.
okay.
So I run over and I grab Max, and Max is just freaked out. So he ends up biting me. I spend my life volunteering, and I don't have medical insurance. And so I went to the emergency room, and they sent me a bill for $1,322. I don't have this money.
Have you talked to him about paying this bill?
I did. I went over and I showed it to him, and he took it, and then he slammed the door in my face. And that's why we're here.
So what's your position about the bill?
My position about the bill is that despite her and her damages, I'm not responsible for the actions on her pet, and her pet bit her on the pet's own recognizance. Therefore,
the pet doesn't have recognizance. The dog has recognizance?
well, I'm not in control of what the pet does.
Okay, well, you're the one that said recognizance, the pet's recognizance. Well, you can't even control what your child does.
Coming up on Supreme Justice.
Did she tell you not to come into her yard, though?
Yes, sometimes.
So when she told you not to come into her yard, did you still go into her yard?
And later.
Where were the cats when you went into the office?
So I went into the office,
Right.
I left, closed the door behind me. I saw one of the cats on my way out. I didn't see the other, I didn't think anything of it, and I left.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Supreme Justice is back with the case of Tracy Baker, who is suing Dave Chen for personal injury.
What about the fact that the dog reacted based on the fact that your child was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be? What about that?
Right. See, my child did hop into her fence.
Right.
However, your dog was not properly trained, and your dog bit
Okay,
your
are you
arm.
He's
talking
in my
to-
backyard.
Excuse me. Your child is not properly trained. Your child is not properly trained. Is he here?
Yes, my
Is this
son is here.
little Jeremy? Let me talk to Jeremy.
Okay.
Court calls Jeremy Chen.
Jeremy? Okay.
So tell me about the baseball.
I play Little League, and my friends and I have been practicing at all of our houses. So
Okay. So when you say my friends and I, we practice in each other's yards, what is practicing about? Playing a full game in the yard?
kind of. We also practice like little skills that we need improvement on.
Right. And so do most of the time when you're in the backyard, are you hitting the ball with the bat?
Sometimes my friends hit the ball too hard,
Right.
and it goes in,
To her yard.
yeah, her yard.
Did she tell you not to come into her yard though?
Yes, sometimes.
So when she told you not to come into her yard, did you still go into her yard?
Like, you know, my friends like keep pushing me.
They say go over there anyway. Just go do it.
kind
You
of.
could do it. Did your daddy tell you not to go in her yard?
My dad's not super strict about it, though.
Oh, he's telling the dad's not super strict about it. Boy, you're a good witness for Dad. So tell me about the day this happened with the dog.
Well, one of my friends hit the ball too hard, and it went in her yard. It wouldn't hurt just to go into her yard
Get the ball.
and grab the ball. It would be
Right.
like only 15 seconds.
Right. You thought it would take 15 seconds to get over there, get your ball, and be back in your own yard. And
Kind of.
nobody would know the difference.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened when you jumped the fence?
I went all the way to the far corner because I like plants, so I didn't want to damage any of her plants.
Okay. Well,
So
that
I
was
went
considerate.
to the far corner where there were no plants, and then I jumped over and walked around and tried to spot the ball. I heard a dog bark. The dog was running towards me. Mrs. Baker was also yelling, so I thought the dog was scared by Mrs. Baker. So, I mean, I was kind of frightened by her too. She's kind of scary sometimes.
Right.
She scares
So
some of
you
my
thought
friends.
the dog was running from Miss Baker
Yeah.
because he was afraid of Miss Baker.
Yep.
And why are you afraid of Miss Baker?
Well, sometimes when my friends go near her yard,
Right.
she like scares them away.
She says, "Get out of my yard."
Kind of.
Yeah, I would say that to you too. Because you're not supposed to be in her yard. You think maybe that she's tired of you coming into her yard and telling you to stay out of her yard? You
Sometimes.
think it could be that maybe?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
So from now on, we're going to what? Stay
out of her yard.
Okay. I'm going to have you step back outside, all right?
All right.
Okay. Thank you. You're a nice kid otherwise. And good luck with the baseball.
Oh, thank
Little
you,
league.
Your Honor.
I don't understand why he can't go, they can't play in a park. You know, they're hitting these baseballs around. Next thing somebody's window's broken, the ball could go over there. This woman is in her yard and a ball knocks her in the head and knocks her out and she dies in the yard. And you would be liable because guess what? You've been warned. You know that this stuff is happening and you as a parent, your son says you're not super strict. You're not strict at all. What happened here could have been a lot worse. Her dog could have attacked her. That dog could have attacked your son. And guess what? She would have been within her rights because he had no business being in her yard. So you need to stop the baseball practice in your yard. Nobody practices baseball in their backyard unless you live on a few acres and there's nobody around. You're too close to somebody's house to be talking about we practicing baseball here. Baseball is practiced in a park. I think I'm ready to rule. Let me see the bill. Do you have a wife?
I do.
Okay, so she doesn't discipline him either.
Not too much.
Yeah, I see that. He's going to be the one in control in the very end. All right, so the total was you had stitches?
I did.
It's unfortunate. All right, I'm ready to rule judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,322. Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,322.
I know it's not Jeremy's fault, so I hope that he learns from this and maybe the parents will get a little stricter.
I'd like to have more evidence presented and further back my testimony as to why I should be in favor of this case.
Coming up,
Romeo had been locked in the office for 2 days.
No food?
No food. He was scratching at the door trying to get out, and he had clearly made some marks on the door.
I felt really bad about Romeo. I stayed an extra hour just to make sure that he was okay.
you're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Samantha Henson is suing Audrey Jennings in the amount of $1,075. Ms. Henson claims her pet sitter locked one of her cats in an office for 2 days and says Ms. Jennings owes her for the damage the stressed pet caused.
Ms. Henson, you're suing Ms. Jennings for $1,075 for property damage, is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and I understand that she was babysitting your cats.
Yes, that is correct.
All right, so how did we get into this agreement about the cats?
Well, I was going out of town last summer for a trip, and I needed someone to watch Pippi and Romeo.
Okay.
And I was having a hard time finding anybody, and Audrey and I reconnected, and she said that she would agree to watch them for me.
So she had never watched your cats before?
No, she
Had you ever been to her house before?
I had previously a couple days before just to meet the cats.
And then what was the understanding about what she was going to do?
She would come over once a day if she could and watch the cats and play with them, make sure the automatic feeder was working,
Right.
and that the litter box was changed.
How long were you going to be gone?
I was gone for about 8 days.
8 days. So far so good? This is what the agreement was?
Yeah, that was the agreement.
Were
and she
you
knew
being
that
paid?
I was not. It was a favor.
Oh, you were doing her a favor to come over every day? How far away was that?
Yes. I lived relatively close, which is why I agreed.
Right.
And she did know that there were going to be a couple days. It was over the 4th of July, and on the
Okay.
3rd and 4th, I wasn't going to be able to come. But she
Okay.
said it was no big deal because of her automatic feeder and her self-cleaning litter box. She said it was fine.
Right. So you knew that most of the time, it looks like these cats were going to be alone.
Yeah, for the majority of the day, they would be alone. I
Right.
just like having someone come in and give them a little human
Right.
interaction for the day.
Right. But then things didn't go the way you expected.
They did not.
Coming up,
He was scratching at the door trying to get out.
I felt really bad about Romeo. I stayed an extra hour just to make sure that he was okay.
you're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Supreme Justice is back with the case of Samantha Henson, who is suing Audrey Jennings for negligence.
What happened?
As I was gone, and this wouldn't have happened if I was here, I texted her that I was having an issue with my out-of-town work emails, go into my office and to make sure that they were sending, and she did.
Where were the cats when you went into the office?
So I went into the office,
Right.
I left, closed the door behind me. I saw one of the cats on my way out. I didn't see the other, I didn't think anything of it, and I left. And that
Okay.
was the day before the 2 days that I had to go out of town.
So in the 3 or 4 days that you had come before, when you went to leave, did you always see both cats?
Yes,
But you didn't think anything of the fact that this time you only saw the one cat?
yes.
Okay. So then what happened?
Romeo had been locked in the office for 2 days.
With no food?
No food. He was scratching at the door trying to get out, and he had clearly made some marks on the door. And I have picture evidence.
Let me see. Yeah.
These are my cats. As you can see in the evidence, you can see there's a lot of tearing and rips at the door. That's where he was inside.
I returned back from my 2-day trip.
Okay.
I had no idea Romeo was in there. I felt really bad about Romeo, but as
How
soon
was
as-
his behavior when you saw him?
At first, he ran straight to the automatic feeder. I stayed an extra hour just to make sure that he was okay.
Did he come to you? Which one is Romeo?
So Romeo is the larger
Okay. On
cat.
the left.
So he was a little bit off at first, but once he was fed, he was just fine. Again, I stayed
He
a little
wasn't
extra
fine.
longer.
Cats stayed mad with you a long time.
I didn't see any noticeable medical emergency
Right,
things from
right.
the 2 days that
Okay.
I had been gone.
All right.
Judge Karen's verdict when Supreme Justice returns. You're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
You had the door, what, repaired?
I had to have the door and the carpet both replaced.
I don't understand why you had to have the carpet replaced.
Because the smell, that was out of my own desire to clean it.
And how much was the door?
The door was $325 to replace.
Okay, so why don't you think that you owe her these fees?
I believe I wouldn't have even gone into the office if it wasn't per her request for me to go into the office.
Right.
I'd never had cats before. I didn't know that I had to be looking for the flash to go
Right.
behind the door as soon as I went in.
When I have to leave my dog with somebody looking after him, I have to pay $50 a day to leave my dog. And you gone 8 days and didn't get this woman a dime? She's driving over there every day, and then you got some other emergency, and then the only person that you could even find to keep your 2 cats, you got her in a courthouse today. Having said that, you took on the responsibility of doing it. I'm not giving you the money for the new carpet because I thought it was excessive. How much was the door repair?
The door was $325.
That's a shame. We're gonna split that in half. But I'm gonna find for the plaintiff in the amount of $162.50. Good luck to you.
All rise.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $162.50.
Sorry about Romeo being stuck in the office. I'm willing to pay the $150. Still don't think it was my fault.
If we were friends before, we're definitely not now.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.